Hi there, my name is Kronenberg and welcome to my channel. This is a film review of The Angry Red Planet. It's rated 13 plus in Amazon. It's a sci-fi horror film. It's an hour and 23 minutes. Amazon rating is 2.5 out of 5. IMDb is 5.2 out of 10. And the Amazon synopsis is: the first spaceship to Mars, presumed lost, is found and brought to Earth. Only 2 of the crew are alive. One is unconscious due to an attached alien growth. The other is traumatized with amnesia. The amnesiac is interrogated into remembering what happened. Those in charge learn of the terrible dangers awaiting anybody venturing into the Martian ecosystem. Mars scenes are tinted red in cinemagic. That's what it was. And I don't read the synopsis, you see, before I watch a film, so I'll explain that in a minute. So the director is I.B. Melchior, Melchior, who directed The Time Travelers. Producers, well, there's 3 of them, but there's 2 main ones. There's Norman Maurer, I think it is, Maurer, who produced the new Three Stooges, and Sidney W. Pink, who I think in this film was Sid Pink, who did Reptilicus. Music was by Paul Dunlop, who did the music for The Big Boss. Now the cast, I've only picked the ones that are actually on the ship. So we have Gerald, I don't know how you say his surname, M-O-H-R, who was Colonel Thomas O'Bannon, who was in Gilda. Nora Hayden, who was Dr. Irish Ryan, I'll explain that in a minute, who was in The Thin Man. Les Tremaine, who was Professor Theodore Gettell, was in War of the Worlds, the 1953 version. And Jack Krushen, K-R-U-S-C-H-E-N, was C.W.O. Sam Jacobs, who was also in War of the Worlds, the 1953 version. So the tinted red bit is basically when you watch it, you're just like, what the hell is... I had no idea how they actually did it. It was so weird doing it. It was very good. Very good. But there you go. So it starts off, it's got some drumming music, like a drumming thing. But there's no credits. The title comes up, and then that's it. It just goes straight into the film. So it's not like modern day films where you have like 5 minutes of intro of music and credits and stuff. There's none of that. It just goes straight into the film. It's so nice. There's some military guys walking around in uniform. They're sitting around at a table, sort of talking around. They talk about how to retrieve the ship. They're asking some sort of a doctor, is it okay, and all this sort of stuff. And then they agree, yep, we're going to go and get it. So we're off to Nevada. There's loads of radar consoles and stuff like that. So I was reading the credits at the end. They did actually use radar bases and stuff that was part of the Air Force, so that was quite nice. But from what I can see, the consoles, they didn't look like they were using stock footage when they were actually pretending to be in NASA or wherever it was. If that's where Nevada is, I don't know where NASA is. So, there were all the consoles and looks really good, because I thought, is it the famous stock footage now? You know, see a photo of like 1,000 people working around. No, because they actually turned around and spoke. So I thought, oh, okay, so did they actually create it? It's kind of cool. So they're looking at this rocket ship coming down. It kind of looks like it's a reverse of going up, and they're all like, look there, and I'm like, where? I couldn't see it. And then all of a sudden I could see it all just appearing. I thought, is that it? Where is it? I can't see it. It's still like a blob. So then they all zoomed off to check that it landed okay and whatnot. So the woman who's Nora Hayden, the only woman, well, not the only woman, but the only female astronaut, is alive, right? And she's the one on the Amazon image, the woman with the red hair. And the guy is taken away under a sheet to hospital, right? He's got green growth. You don't know who he is at all, so it's just like, well, I don't know which one that is. They still don't know what this green growth is. There's like, what's this green stuff? Don't know. Let's just send it to hospital. Like, So it's from Mars. It's unknown green substance on his arm. It's growing. What could possibly go wrong? I think that's completely fine, don't you? So obviously they're interrogating her. So well, no, it's interrogating her. They're basically asking her to see, kind of go back in time and try and remember what happened. And then they look at the cockpit, and it looks nothing like a cockpit in their spaceship. Well, from the shuttles and stuff that we've seen, they're sort of moving around, chilling in a couple of chairs, guys playing chess, looking out the window. I thought, what the hell? And this is when they're moving, but you see the ship is literally like kind of on an angle, speeding through the air, through space. Just weird. So eventually they land, right? But whilst they were landing, no one moved. Everyone still sat in the chairs. No hair was moving around. It was literally like they hadn't even moved. So weird. As nowadays you watch Star Trek or something, the old Star Trek, and they're sort of like holding on to the chairs, pretending that they're sort of moving around, but these didn't do anything. They're looking out the porthole, and it's like this big beaming red light coming through. And then they start putting on their spacesuits, which are kind of like looking at tracksuits. They didn't look like a spacesuit, with the proper stuff that we would normally associate. It was just literally, when you see them walking around in the cockpit wearing some sort of, I don't know, grey coverall, that's what they end up wearing. So weird. So Mars has plants. It's very red. And this is what I was saying about the colour. So when you watch it, you think, okay, Mars, red planet, okay. But then everything is red. So they're red. The ship is red. The air is red. Everything around is red. So you think, oh, okay, is it painted? No, because it is this weird. It's kind of like when you look at a negative in some films. They've done negative images where the kind of. It's hard to explain. It's just so weird to see. It's so very good. But now I see what they did. They did tint it red. Very good. But they tinted it all, unfortunately. They couldn't just distinguish between bits. So from what I can see, there were some cacti. There was a jungle. There's grass. But that light was interesting. I was so mesmerised. I thought, what the hell is that? One of the plants actually looked like a drawing. So they're walking by it, and they were looking at it, but it looked like it was actually cardboard cutout drawn. But they were walking by it at this plant. And the reason why she's called Iris Irish is because her name is Iris, but Gerald Moore, who was Tom all the time, that's all I ever heard, called her Irish, and then she's like saying, I don't know if you're calling me by my name or call me by nationality. It says, well, you'll know when I want to call you by your name. You'll know. I thought, oh God, how good. And the worst thing is, right, if you think of, because that's not a direct quote, I didn't write it down like I normally do, but when you see somebody in the 70s wearing a medallion with their chest hair half out, that's what he was like that all the way through it. And there was one point where he took off his jacket for some reason. We don't need to know that. But instead of sorting out his jacket and buttoning it back up, no, he just walked around with his chest hanging out. I thought, oh my God, come on. Anyway, so Iris was attacked by a huge plant, right? It's got these tentacles. It's like a Venus flytrap. And she's screaming, Tom! That's all you can hear. Anyway, she got free, so they killed the plant. So, as usual, Earthlings making their mark on another planet. Now, you see this image on the image that I've got here. The backdrop thing. You see this. It looks like a giant mouse on long tentacles and stuff like that. I'm actually reading on IMDb, and apparently the 40-foot alien monster was actually a marionette about 15 inches high, and it's a combination of a rat, a bat, a spider, and a crab. So weird, but it's quite funny watching it. So instead of letting it be and walking off, they decide to blind it. Not kill it, just blind it in its eyes so it's completely blind for the rest of its life. No wonder other planets and creatures hate Earth, because we just go around and kill everybody. Anyway, we end up at a lake. It's not a lake, it's some sort of oily water. I'm not going to go any more detail about it. It's quite interesting as what they find across the lake, or what do you call it. It was a good film, solid acting, decent story. I love the actual planet when they're walking through it, with that red stuff. It's just so weird. I don't think they show you on the actual. I'm just watching the trailer now. I don't know if they show you it. It's just weird, very weird, very good though, very good. But I'd love to know how they actually did it. I mean, just saying it. Also, the trailer is showing it in black and white, but the one I watched was colour on Amazon. So as usual, they've tinted it. I don't know. I haven't got a clue. It's just bizarre because there's bits of it in black and white in the trailer, but then it's in colour. So for them now, it might be because on the actual planet it was red, but in the original film they made it black and white, if you know what I mean. I don't know. In fact, they do show you on the trailer. Very, very near the end. Or did I not record that one? If I haven't recorded that one, I'll make sure I'll keep the one in. You'll know what I'm talking about when I'm playing it. Okay, well, hopefully you've enjoyed watching this film review of The Angry Red Planet. Please subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up if you like this video, leave a comment in the comment box below if you've watched this film. Okay, well, thank you and goodbye.